Hello everyone and welcome to the latest podcast. This is our Alström Community Off the Record podcast, and today I'm joined by Kerry, who's our Chief Executive, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her role and the services she provides. But before that, if you're new to Alström syndrome and the charity, I'll give you a little bit of background first. So the charity is Alström Syndrome UK. We're a small but mighty charity in the UK, providing lots of services for our families and working with professionals and researchers and clinicians. Alström syndrome is an ultra-rare genetic condition. It affects all the organs in the body, including eyesight and hearing, but it's also individual to each person. So even amongst siblings, the symptoms can vary from person to person. It's always important to remember that. Now, I hope you've all been enjoying the podcast. And as I say, today I'm joined by Kerry. I'm looking forward to hearing a bit more about her. But first, Kerry's going to tell us a little bit about the services and support that she provides. So over to you, Kerry.
Hi, hello everyone, and thanks for having me, Catherine. My name's Kerry. I'm the Chief Executive of Alström Syndrome UK. I've been involved with the charity now for a very long time. So my son has a diagnosis of Alström syndrome. That's how I first got involved in around 2004. And I started as on the board of ASUK. Went to be the chair of ASUK and then stepped down and was fortunate to have a paid position in ASUK in 2008 alongside Catherine, working as family support workers.
Fabulous, thank you. And so it sounds like you've had this sort of journey with ASUK. So can you tell us a little bit more about your journey to being chief executive?
Yeah, so started off as a family support worker, as I said, and then moved on to be the development manager for ASUK and then the national development manager, and then eventually led to being chief executive. So quite a journey with ASUK, really starting off with that direct contact with families, which is still my favourite part of the role, which is the direct contact I have with people living with Alström syndrome. I don't have as much of that now, and I do miss that, but we have a fabulous team and I feel very confident that the team are there to support families on a daily basis. I think a lot of my time in the early days was making sure we were reaching as many people as possible with Alström. So we did a lot to raise awareness, particularly with people from diverse, marginalised and underserved communities. We didn't have much diversity within the Alström community when me and Catherine first started in this role, but that's really changed over time through a lot of our learning and the changes that we've made as an organisation to be more inclusive and diverse, and then hopefully change the way that we're able to support families and engage with families with varying different needs, and there's lots of barriers that people with Alström syndrome experience. So really pleased of our diverse community now. And we have, now we have 55% of people from an ethnic minority community, but there's lots of diversity within that as well.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I was just about to say some of the stats, actually. So you took the words right out of my mouth. And I think looking at that diversity, there are, am I right in thinking about 17 different languages that are spoken within that community as well?
Yeah, so when we say 55% from people from an ethnic minority, that really doesn't give the full picture. So families from different communities speaking 17 different languages. We have people who are refugees who have are yet to receive settled status within the UK. So our team work really hard to make sure that people are getting all the support that they need and access to our highly specialised service, which we're very fortunate to have for Alström syndrome. And we work in partnership with those clinical teams as well, so we can really provide that holistic support for people living with Alström in terms of not just meeting their healthcare needs, but also looking at their social needs, education. We really can be adaptable and flexible to respond to whatever it is that families need from us, and that varies. Some people need quite a lot of support and want quite a lot of support from us in different areas of their life. Some people just need to know that we're there and they can pick up the phone if they need us, and we can help to coordinate their clinics as well.
Lovely, thank you. And from that diverse work, and particularly the experience and knowledge that we developed over that time, we kind of led into sort of a new network, didn't we, called Breaking Down Barriers. So would you like to tell us a little bit about that network and the work that we've started there?
Yeah, so breaking down barriers really is that grassroots. It's grown from the work that we did in those early days. And I think that's something that we're really proud of at ASUK. We often start small. We often pilot lots of the work that we do. We do a lot of consultation, make sure it's something that people want and need rather than just making that assumption that this is something that's needed. And then we grow it from there and we learn and adapt along the way. And that's what we did with breaking down barriers, really. After the work that we'd done within our organisation, to be more inclusive and diverse, we developed then Breaking Down Barriers in partnership with the Sylvia Adams Charitable Trust, who was our funders at the time for the project. And that really was us wanting to share our learning. We've known for a long time that we can't just work in isolation as a small patient organisation in the UK. We're stronger, if we join and work more collaboratively within the wider rare disease community. And that's what we wanted to do with breaking down barriers. We saw the lack of diversity within the rare disease community. And we know that it's not for one to try in. A lot of the patient organisations recognise that and want to do more to support as many people as possible and to make sure that that people get a diagnosis in the first place, but then once they have that diagnosis, to get the right support that's available. So we developed breaking down barriers really to facilitate a network, because one of the things I've always said, and I know I talk to the team about this a lot, is that we aren't experts. We are not experts in this, but what we do is we are very open to share our experience so that people can learn from the mistakes that we've made as well as the successes that we've made, but also that we can learn from other people as well, because there's some excellent examples of work that's been done within the rare disease community. And by joining together and sharing those experiences, then that puts us in a much better position to be able to provide more inclusive services for all people living with rare and genetic conditions, and to address really a lot of the health inequalities that people experience, because sometimes it's challenging enough living with a rare and complex condition. There are many battles, and I don't use that word lightly. I use it a lot because I have that personal experience of battling health, education, social care systems, the benefits systems, and that real frustration of the lack of treatments that are available for rare conditions. But to then be from a community where you experience additional barriers and inequalities because of the, whether it's your socioeconomic status or your ethnicity, your language barriers, your differences in culture and religion, all of those things compounded just sometimes makes things even more challenging. And what we wanted to be able to do is to make sure that organisations really felt equipped to be able to support, and sometimes be okay with feeling vulnerable, because sometimes we don't know. And what we've always said is we've always opened ourselves up to be vulnerable and say, we know we're not doing this right. We know we've got to learn. We know we've got to do it different. The only way we can do that is by learning from people with lived experience, and then adapting what it is that we're providing.
No, it's fantastic. It really is fantastic work, and I'm so proud of the network. I think we've now got over 70 organisations, from really small charities up to the really large ones as well, involved in the work, which is great collaboration. And so you've obviously worked with the charity for a long time now, and you must have lots and lots of memories. So have you got any favourite ones that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, I have got lots of memories, and I think so. First, I have to start with my own personal link to Alström. So I remember getting a diagnosis for my son of Alström, and my world fell apart. It was one of those things really difficult to get my head around, and I think I never forget that. And that is one of my motivators really for wanting to keep going and to work with the charity. So I think one of my first memories of ASUK was coming to the first conference, and it was a conference that I went to in Birmingham at the Novotel with Keon, and he was around 4 at the time, I think he was. And yeah, it was the first time I'd been in a room of people, of other children living with Alström and their family members, and some of the clinicians as well, and the charity representatives. And it just felt such a supportive environment, and it was such a relief really to know that there were other people going through similar things to my family, and actually just being able to look at other children and see the similarities with my son as well. That were the start of my journey with ASUK. And then in terms of working for ASUK, one of the things I remember is, as a family support worker, we used to go out and meet families, and then sometimes they'd tell me about another family member who they thought may have similar symptoms to their child. And so a family once from Bradford told me about a family living in Lancashire, that they thought that they'd got Alström syndrome. So I went out, did a home visit with the family, and the child had been referred to the Alström service, and we're just waiting for their appointment, which was great. Got to meet the family, but they got a baby. They got a baby as well. And I remember saying, do you want to cuddle? Which obviously I said yes. So I remember having a cuddle with this baby and noticing that the baby's eyes were wobbling. And so suggested to the family that maybe they needed to get a referral for baby as well. As it was, the baby did get a referral and needed emergency heart surgery. And so was admitted straight away for heart surgery. And I'm really pleased to say he's now 16 years old, doing incredibly well. But that is one of my proudest moments, and I think really shows some of the role really that patient organisations can play, because they get to know families, they get to know wider family members, and can make some of those links sometimes and make sure that they get referrals to the right places at the right time, because the outcome for that baby could have been very different if it had not been picked up as soon as it was.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for sharing those. And I think it really highlights that within ASUK, we've spoken to Claire and Sarah on a different podcast session. The individual and particularly our personalised level of support that we give to families is second to none, really. And it really does highlight, the experiences that you're sharing. It really does highlight, the need for that.
Yeah, I think, it's a real, I love our community and our team, because it's, it can be an horrendous condition. We can't hide that fact. And our families have to cope with loss and with challenges, and our team go through that with families as well, and feel that loss and feel that frustration, and do what we can. Can't always solve things, but we can walk that journey with a family and be there for them. But I think despite all that, there is so much strength within the community, within our team, so much strength, so much humour. Every time we meet and we have a conference or we have a team meeting, we might be dealing with some real difficult things, but we always end up laughing and supporting one another, whether that be supporting a family or whether it be supporting another member of our team. And I think that really is, a credit to the team, really, of how hard and how passionate people are, but have that real sense of, the need for people to enjoy their life and make the best out of their lives as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that definitely comes through, that I think no matter what we're going through, I think humour always comes through, particularly with the team, which is always a good point. Now, at ASUK, we do like to work hard, and I know you're no different. You travel all over the UK, looking for opportunities, and we have that time to work hard, but have you got any ways that you like to unwind? Let's find out a little bit more about you. What are the things that you enjoy doing outside of this busy, hectic charity world?
Yeah, I've always said I work hard, but I also play hard. So yeah, obviously spending time with my family is the most important thing to me, and it's the thing that I enjoy doing the most. And that can be doing anything really, whether it's, staying in the house, having a house party, which we have plenty of, or whether it's going out and, and listening to some music. So that's one of my favourite, or that spending time with family is my favourite. But I love going out and listening to live music. Love going to watch a rock band, letting my hair down and just having a good laugh with family and with friends. That is one of my favourite things to do, and do that regularly. So Keon, my eldest son with Alström, and then my youngest son Cole, both love music as well. Real wide variety of music. So we're always off. And I shouldn't forget the husband. The husband also likes music as well. I always forget him. I'm sorry, Scott. But as a family, we all like similar music. So we go to lots of different concerts around the country. Me and Scott have just got a camper van as well because the kids are older now and they're off doing their own thing. My youngest has just passed his driving test and that's giving me sleepless nights. Keon lives independently and that gives me sleepless nights. So I need to find something to keep my mind off worrying as a mother. So we got this camper van. And we travel all over now and stay in different places. So yeah, really enjoying that. I mean, when I was younger, I used to love going abroad and I used to love the beach holidays and sunbathing. You know, that were my ideal holiday. Now it's very different. I suppose that comes with age and getting older, but I just love visiting new places, exploring new places, waking up somewhere different. And the van gives us that freedom really to do some of that. So yeah.
Yeah, sounds idyllic. Sounds idyllic. What's your favourite band? Who would be your perfect? What would be your perfect night out to go and see?
Oh, so we love it was been my favourite. I tell you one of my favourite, and he's not necessarily my favourite singer, but the favourite concert me and Scott went to was Robbie Williams, which was a real surprise to me because it's not my usual type of music. But the atmosphere and that we had a great time with Robbie Williams. But mainly we really like Pearl Jam, we like AC/DC. Me and Keon have been to Download Festival.
Brilliant.
Some of it was a little bit heavy, and Cole now is into all the heavier stuff. Which is as I said, most of it we like similar music. Some of it not so much, but so the rock bands, but actually the tribute bands as well. We've had some great times camping, listening to tribute bands. So Foo Fighters, anything like that really. But we also like the 80s music as well and the 90s. It takes us back to when we were, when we started going out and things. Yeah.
No, sounds good. So you've told me lots about you, but is there anything that people wouldn't know about you necessarily? Any hidden secrets, hidden talents, anything hidden that you'd like to share with us?
So I often say I'm a real sharer. So anybody that knows me really knows my family, knows my my link to Alström and things like that. So I do share a lot. The one thing that people might not know is that I am related to the first black footballer, Arthur Wharton. So my grandmother discovered some things within her attic many years ago now and linked that back to the first black footballer. And so she did a lot of work and got involved with Football Unites, Racism Divides, I think it was called. And so she did a lot of work around that. She did a lot of media. My nan was Sheila Leeson, who sadly passed away. But did a lot to discover that was our link. And so feel really really proud and privileged, and we feel really proud of my grandmother actually for doing all that she did to uncover that. We've got statues now of Arthur Wharton, and there's murals, that there's all sorts there, and did a lot to address racism within football. And I think obviously linking that to the work that we did with breaking down barriers, completely separate, but I think shows a lot about our family and and our values as a family. And so it's really nice really to be able to have those links back. And my grandmother was fortunate to go to Ghana to meet some of Arthur Wharton's family, and I know that's something that she really appreciated, being able to do that, and got so much from that.
Fabulous. No, that sounds great. I'd love to do one of those, the family trees. You see them often on the telly now, don't you, doing it all with the celebrities. So wow, what's something something new to tell us. Thank you ever so much.
There's lots out there as well on the website about it, so I'll send you the link, Catherine.
Lovely. I shall pop it on ours as well. So thank you ever so much. Thank you, Kerry, for joining us on the podcast today. For anyone that's new to Alström or would like some more information, you can go onto our website, www.alström.org.uk, to find out more information. There's lots more podcasts on there that you can also have a listen to. So bye for now, and we look forward to for you to hearing the next one. Thank you ever so much. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.